Okay, so the Meister's going to be doing another video on the WoW Community Council. Yeah, the Meister really needs to get on the WoW Community Council so he can get unbanned. This is just treachery beyond belief, and apparently new PvP gearing changes. We'll see what happens.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another Civities video, and the WoW Community Council has spoken. It feels like it's been a while since the WoW Community Council's inception, but we do
Their
have
word
a
means
concrete
nothing.
and confirmed forum and group of players that were invited to join.
Wait, these people actually make decisions about stuff? This could be even worse than what WoW does.
I myself didn't apply to the WoW Community Council.
I, of course, did.
Mostly because in the application it said that
Got
they were
turned down.
not looking for
Really
specifically high-rated PvPers, high-rated PvEers, or content creators. And I think the purpose of the WoW Community Council, from their point of view, was to get a wider perspective.
Is to
get
be even more
voices
clueless?
that maybe wouldn't be heard. Because they don't have the large audience that's been garnered from being a content creator, and to try and just make sure that it is a wide perspective of
Large
feedback
audience, super fat? Buddy, this would be your only audience.
that is being digested. So I know a lot of people were upset that didn't get their applications accepted. I've seen videos popping up on YouTube of that level of upsetness, and I think it has some...
I don't think they ever answered me.
Reason to be, right? Because you would think, like, don't you want to invite people who are the best at what they're doing, or the most passionate?
That's the way it should work.
Say that players of a lower skill caliber aren't also passionate.
Makes literally no sense. Why would you want, if I just started playing a different game, why would you want the person who just started playing the game's input and someone who's actually, instead of someone who's actually knows what they're doing? It makes, this is why Blizzard, literally probably, if you look at the people who are in Blizzard and why it's going downhill, they've literally hired a bunch of 20-year-old clueless fucking stale noodle eating swine bags. These people are clueless beyond belief and literally dye their hair every other day.
So have valid feedback to try and make the game, helpful to them and have their experience be fun and have ways to improve. And to me, I think the main positive element of getting this WoW Community Council is that now they can confirm feedback across the entire player base of the game. Right?
No, I don't think so.
They can take the feedback that's coming
Why would it
from
do anything?
content
It's just
creators.
a new communist manifesto with 5 people making weird decisions on I don't know how it works, but it sounds horrible.
Because they can take the feedback that's coming from pro players. They can take the feedback that's coming from players who aren't playing at that level, who may just be doing other
Everyone.
content as well, and collaborate it all together.
Everyone
combine it
else
all
besides
together
the
in a
10
way
people who
now
play
you
that
can
are
say,
good.
all right, everybody is saying that this needs to change. We should probably change this, right? Rather than having these isolated moments. Maybe there's some bias from the high-rated PvPers that will negatively impact the rest of the PvP community, right? Now you've got a way of getting all of that perspective. And to me, that was what I tried to take away from the positive elements of the WoW Community Council, rather than trying to kind of like get down on like, oh, these players aren't that high-rated. Like, what are they doing here? And type of stuff like that. But rather, let's get the whole perspective out there so that
He's forced to be positive because he works for Blizzard. I tell it how the game is. This game is trash. I got banned for 10 days after playing this game for 20 years for saying the word retard in a BG. That should change. Garbage commies.
So the feedback that's coming in can now be taken into account and say, this needs to change. And this is where we are now starting to see some of the big fruits of that labor, specifically with this one forum post that we can see, PvP
I don't like fruit.
and Shadowlands, which I think has been kind of a thorn for a while. It seems to be a very difficult thing to balance. How do we have it so players who want to power up their characters can feel like they're doing that in a meaningful way, but also satisfy the players who want to focus on skill development and just kind of get into playing competitive modes as soon as possible, right? I'm somebody who now usually falls into
How about this one? Don't make it so you can go into Incarnation and hit someone with 1 star surge and die instantly. How's that for balancing? Did they ever think of that?
latter rather than the former.
Maybe don't make rogues better mana regeneration than Hilly Pallies.
There are still a lot of players who do like getting those powerful items, going into Battleground, seeing really big crits. Even myself, I like to do that every once in a while. And I think that there's got to be a way that we can balance that out so that both audiences are satisfied moving forward. And right now they've got a change coming through, which we can take a look at. So jumping into the WoW Community Council forum, we'll see a post about how the PvP upgrades and the honor gear and everything.
Dude, it's so bad too because I'm banned until the 6th. Or the 5th, and the season ends on the 11th. Like, I'm going to have barely any time. Only the best Palidan in the world could do this.
Has changed, and whether or not it's overall been a positive experience. And then as soon as my little blue tracker post will jump, we can go directly to the blue post itself from Desvin. Hello. As everyone knows, expectations about how PvP gearing should play out during a player's initial gearing up phase each season have shifted from expansion to expansion.
Yeah, gotten worse and worse.
We've seen a lot of those expectations even shift from patch to patch,
no.
especially since the end of Legion.
We've wanted the same thing since WoD.
1.5 from a PvP perspective, it was very clear that players wanted the gearing up phase to be shorter and the staircase of power.
And you made it longer. Instead of having to gear up your character from 1 to 6, you made it 1 to 9. Do you not know his simple math? Even the maestro knows that. And I barely can even make cereal.
Case of power that PvP gear represents to be less steep, so we did just that in 9.1.5. And then saw mountains of feedback from PvPers that you wanted it to be even shorter and even less steep by a lot. Players who posted in those threads were, in a word, unhappy.
Yeah, and you made it even longer.
We also spotted some feedback about 9.1.5 that looked very positive on the changes we made. Please don't think we didn't see you. This is something else to also point out, is that I don't think that this WoW Community Council forum is something that's like, we're only going to be reading this and not paying attention to everything else. I don't think that's what the point of this.
I don't think they're going to be reading anything because they're illiterate.
Which maybe is where some of the fear comes in from players who are being critical of it. I think it's just they wanted to try and get a wider perspective.
So these people are actually going to make changes on the game? Oh my god.
Those channels, and
that's like bad.
Confirm it together. And you can see that said here in this statement. And to cut to the chase on that subject, the item level upgrade via rating tiers has to stay in place as it currently works for the rest of the season. We're committed to keeping some consistency around such things in the middle of a season. Post-Legion PvP, and really the entire game, is different than it was pre-Legion. We're striving to make a PvP gearing system that balances character progression with fairness, rewarding players who improve over the course of the season with noticeable power increases that can be overcome through skillful play. We believe that the current arrangement using PvP item level has reduced the gap between players.
Can be overcome through skillful play. So I start out with 25,000 health when I... fucking 10,000 health when I hit 60, and other people have 60,000 health. There's zero way to... There's literally zero... Even me being the best Palidan game... Well, I did get up to 2800 CR instantaneously. I am the best Palidan game. Only the Maestro could overcome this, I guess. No one else can, though. I've never seen another person who has low gear get even to 2200 CR. Like... But I'm playing with like a 30 item level below what it is, and I'm playing at 2900. Which is still not even really that good, because right now it's like 3200 CR, which would be good, but...
Games where your team usually has a good chance to defeat your opponents in arenas and battlegrounds, you can get started quickly and perform adequately with honor gear, but still experience noticeable power increases.
You literally can do no damn. Honor gear is the worst thing of all time.
Season, we've heard loud and clear that players think it takes too long to gear up for PvP. As far as we can see, it looks like the best way for us to address that concern immediately would be to add a significant honor
how about
increase.
You do this? Why would you make it so people can upgrade gear in the first place? It's the worst thing in all of life. Why do you do that? Make it so you can buy the piece of gear from the PvP vendor and that's it. It's so simple. And that's all you have to do. Get rid of Connies from the game. Bring back the old talent system. It's so easy. It's so simpy out.
40% of the Spoils of War buff that is currently in place. So we're looking into doing that soon. Thank you for your feedback, and also thank you to everyone who provided valuable feedback on this to us in previous forum threads, such as the massive thread in 9.1.5 PTR forum. It may take us some time to formulate an answer, but we do see your feedback every day. And I think that this has been voiced, again, not just by this WoW Community Council forum, but also by top-rated PvPers or just the PvP community in general from all walks of life, that it was just like, this is way too much of a grind. There are some things that I disagree with in this post. I think that the initial honor gear does not
I just said that.
Perform adequately.
I just said that.
Now,
it doesn't allow you to perform at all.
Gear to an alt.
It's like when Peziantes have to take Viagra. I don't have to. The mini-mice is erect at all times. The maestro's adequate. These people are inadequate Peziantes. And then clueless beyond belief. Anyway, and that sums up the video right there. But so the maestro really needs to make as much money as he can. I'm trying to buy a new house. I'm trying to find like maybe a decent job or something. Maybe just to make a little bit more money because I'm not making much right now. Let me know what other content you guys want to see. Because I don't know, I feel like I have no content, and since I'm banned on WoW, I don't really have any arenas, but no one even really cares that much about arenas, I don't know. So let me know what content you want to do, and if anybody is in Texas and can help me out with a job, or like any information on how to do my taxes, because I have to do my taxes to get out a loan to buy the house, let me know about that, and, the maestro will never give